Hi, we're the 288 Strykers. I'm Ninja.
I'm Huey.
I'm Squatch.
And I'm Nessie.
This is Drinking with the Strykers. Aha! Party food.
yeah.
Here we go. I love it. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, you gotta get that. That's really good. All right. So we got some new members here from the team. So we got Huey. Obviously, we got Squatch, and we got Nessie. So let's last time we kind of did everybody's I guess origin story. So Squatch, you want to lead us out? How'd you get into Airsoft and the team?
I got an Airsoft about 4 years ago. I had a buddy I grew up with. He's like, hey, you want to come try this out? So I was like, sure, what the heck. And then went out and played, had a blast. Then later on, there's a field around here called Nighthawk. I went out there, played, had a blast, met Boxer. We had a good time. And just playing, kept on going, and then started building up like a little team. So I met most of these guys from... Me and Ninja actually went to high school together.
True, we did.
So
Small town.
small town.
Yeah.
So then just playing, having fun, playing games, team. Then I noticed when I was playing, I started grouping up with these guys more. Like going out to games.
Start joining the pack is what you're doing.
Yep, pretty much.
As Fiend said last time, the best Airsoft team ever.
Yeah. So
Here's that.
I started in either 2006 or 2007. I can't really remember. That's when I really got into it. I used to do the backyard games with the little clear miniatures. So I had this miniature little, I think it was an MP5, and you had to load the BBs in the top into their gravity fed.
Was it the Springer?
No, they ran off of AA batteries.
Oh, AA batteries.
Yeah,
I bet that lasted a whole 4 seconds.
Yeah. So I'd get 2 or 3 friends together in some trees, my parents' property when I was really young, and we'd have games, or I'd get my grandfather out there. I'm so sorry, grandfather. Shot his fingers, all 3 of them in one whole series. Then I started to really get into it around 2010, where I went out and went into this mall. There was this indoor field in a mall, which to this day still concerns me because people come in wearing their gear and guns, walking through this public mall. But anyway,
sounds like my type of place.
Yeah, it was.
That's legit.
Yeah, I wish it didn't close down. It was good. It was good fun. I bought my first gun there, which was an M14 SOCOM. And old SEMA, and that thing is still alive to this day. Yes. And then I started.
Does it shoot?
It shoots relatively well, actually. It shoots close to 400, and it shoots okay. It's just gotten a little bit of wear and tear over the years. The charging handle's metal brace actually just straight up broke, so now it just slides randomly, but that's okay. It sounds cool. And then I started amassing a collection. I think a little more than this. I think I have about 23 or 24 guns sitting in my closet.
Oh.
And what happened is I started inviting random people to come airsoft. So over the time, I would just have coworkers and like, oh, hey, I got a big airsoft game going. You want to come try it? They're like, oh, yeah, that'd be cool. And I start supplying them. The problem with that is that those people did not pay any fee or anything of the sort, or when they destroyed it, no repair assistance. So I now have, out of those 23, only 4 working ones, which we were working on getting a tech for, but
that's super unfortunate.
And it is very unfortunate.
Hard finding techs.
And one of the people that I brought along and started introducing to Airsoft is actually Huey.
This guy?
Yeah, this guy. He was one of my tag-alongs, and he was really enjoying it, started to get really good at it, so I started bringing him to more public games instead of the ones in my, the 10 acres my parents had, so after I started supplying him, he got his own stuff, and well...
I wouldn't say I was very good, but I was a pretty decent cannon fodder.
He made good bait for me to... I used to bait my teammates when I didn't know how to play very well.
Yeah, I think
nice.
Back when we used to work together, I think I was about 16, so I think it's about like 8 years going on 9 now.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Well, now we know Huey's age.
Oh no! Just know I'm old enough to drink. Got to defeat the whole purpose of this whole thing. But
A little bit.
he just kind of pretty much invited me. We had a little company outing. I think there was like 13 of us at like family property and stuff. Went out, had a blast. Got shot a bunch.
As you do.
Yeah, every time.
Right.
I mean, if you're not getting shot a bunch, like you're not playing right. So, I just kind of enjoyed it. I was like super into like Call of Duty and stuff, especially when I was younger. So I was like, dude, this is like Call of Duty, but in real life.
Did you drill me in the forehead that day?
Yeah, with your own gun.
Yeah, that's right. He borrowed
Old
my
beast.
gun.
You kind of have to.
I had an SR-25 that shot 430 FPS, and
430 with 3 O's.
yeah, it didn't feel good. Can't
Yeah.
confirm.
It's probably the best 2 weeks after we had that little outing. Everyone kept looking at him. He goes, Nessie, what happened to your forehead? And he just looks at me and I just start laughing.
Yeah, a lot of people ask about that.
Nice big old goose egg.
Nice.
But yeah, it kind of happened pretty organically. Became Nessie's +1 pretty quick. Became pretty good friends through work, and then we started airsofting with each other. And then we ended up getting into this little group of just like, I think it was 4 of us that we all kind of played online, and then we started trying to go out and do stuff in person. And that, how long would you say that lasted, really?
That lasted, I'd say, 2 or 3 years. Where
you were in it. I was only in it for...
Yeah, I'd been between teams over the years, and at some point I was leading a team for a while, and then I was a second in command of a team. And that's when I had Huey come in. We went to indoor fields. There was this old indoor place, this place Nighthawk used to run, which I would go there. I had the VIP things. We paid for their year-long membership. We get a special back room we'd go to. That we'd walk past the counter. We go and we have couches and everything. Yeah.
Well,
so
sounds awesome.
It was worth it. Honestly, we'd come in with the VIP treatment. We get discounts and everything. And then
would.
I know. Oh, you got to milk that. But. Anyway, then we got in a different association for a little while, and then we actually got put on different teams, which kind of...
Not cool, bro.
Yeah,
At that point, we've been playing together for 3 years or so.
Yeah, 3-4 years.
On and off, 3 and 4 years. So it's like one of those where you like get pretty decent at playing with somebody and you build like a lot of chemistry. Like, I really like how this guy plays. Like, we don't have to talk. Like, we just do stuff. And then we joined that association. They're like, yeah, no.
Different teams.
Yeah.
Which I remember I was pretty...
We were both pretty salty about that. Him more than me.
I was pretty butthurt about it. I remember complaining to Craig on multiple times.
And you guys did that until Operator SmackDown, right? That
Yeah.
was kinda,
So
Operator faithful day.
Operator SmackDown was where we had a bunch of teams within the association face each other for grand prize, which I was actually either sick or working that day. I don't remember what I was doing.
Couldn't get work off.
I couldn't get work off that day, so...
Adulting.
My team was down 1, which at that point I'd gotten a reputation within the team because I was one of the only ones with a Polar Star at that point.
Yeah.
And
to be fair, though, your team, Nessie's team, was supposed to be the elite.
Yeah, I got put on the elite team.
I was part of the league team.
And were you? Oh yeah, you were.
Yeah,
And,
Huey was on my team.
Yeah.
It also Fiend was on that team, and
I know.
that's where I met Fiend.
Right. I know. I asked Fiend, how'd that work out for you guys?
Well, I wasn't there, so I couldn't carry. But and we ended up kind of just not really playing with that association too much anymore. Not just
it was 100% organic. You kind of you play with a couple guys and you're like, I like hanging out with this guy a lot, and then you start seeing more of like Squash was saying, you just kind of gravitate towards people who are like, you get shot, you go out and you're going back, you're looking for people, you're like, where's Fiend at?
Yeah.
Where's Nessie at? Where's Ninja at? Because those were the guys you like to run with. And it kind of just one of those things, it's not like you really thought about like, oh yeah, this is what I want to do. It just kind of happened. Like, it was just very...
Where is Ninja?
It was a very organic kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's half the time nowadays anyway. We're still searching for you.
I know. I'm way up there.
It's not there.
He's fast. But and then the Strykers started to kind of...
I don't know, we started talking.
Bunch of bits pieces coming together, so starting to form a little bit. And Huey fell in with them. And I had started getting work much more, so I started missing all these
when
games.
you were working 2.5 jobs, so you were pretty
No, I was kind of busy at that point.
Kind of.
It's kind of where his name
You'd
came
be
from.
calling him, and then where's
nothing? Yeah, you would call
Nessie?
me, and I'd have to be a sleeper at work, so I couldn't.
So that's where the call sign came from, because when we were originally part of that first organization,
Oh yeah,
Nessie was a part of the big boy.
the big boy squad, and because I was
You
the
were-
only one with a Polar Star at that point, my nickname was Porn Star.
Wow.
I don't know where that came. Well, okay, I know where it came from. I don't agree with it, but
Anyways, the whole
Anyway.
point of it was he was supposed to be a part of like the.
elite.
They were supposed to be the elite
Like
doing
a special
meetings, and
forces.
he was in charge of trying to get their name out there and stuff. And it's pretty hard to have your the guy who's in charge of getting your name out, and nobody can get a hold of him. So
Yeah.
even though I wasn't even on the elite team, I was pretty much the in between message guy.
yeah. I remember he would get calls at like 11 when I'm trying to sleep for work. He's like, hey, he's trying to get a hold of you. And I just wave him out of my room.
You're the tour guide in those movies about Nessie that tries to go and find him.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's kind of where Nessie ended up coming from, because even when we started doing the Strykers and that thing kind of started developing, I was I've been playing with Nessie for years, so I was like trying to like bring him along. Like, come on, let's do this instead. Like this is better.
Right. So we had 6 and then Nessie, right?
Yeah,
That was
about 7.
You are our newest, like I guess, official.
I guess.
Yeah.
Officially, yeah.
Yeah. Other than our new recruit.
Newest.
Yeah. He'll be on here. You just can't be on camera until you get your jersey, right? That's how that works.
Yeah. No, it'll take a couple weeks.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I remember talking shit about Nessie as far as like, I was like, oh, he's like the Loch Ness Monster. He's never there. And then he was like right here.
Yeah, first time that call sign came about, I was like,
Well, yeah, because your old call sign used to be LT Werewolf.
it used to be Verwolf, yeah. For
So we
long
just
time.
called him Werewolf.
Or V.
And that was...
V was what I ran with for a long time. I still run with that in other circumstances.
Nessie's
but
a lot more fitting that way.
Yeah.
in this team, Nessie is definitely the way to go. And I grew on me.
You gotta embrace it, right?
And so after I got on the team, and they were like, we're kind of stick with Nessie. I'm like, all right, fine. I contacted my tailor and got some patches made with, let Nessie or Loch Ness, depending on.
Small flex.
Yeah, small little flex.
Small flex.
And then I think Huey just came up with, and everyone else just kind of, I don't know, how'd you guys really come up with Huey?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I
I
didn't
know
even swear
like
behind
Huey,
you.
and I was, because we were going over like a couple
I don't think I was
different
there for that meeting. I really don't.
ones. I think it was,
It was the baby face,
Yeah.
little Huey or whatever, and they're like, oh wait, that's a helicopter.
Yeah.
too. And they're
So
like, we can
baby
make that
face
work,
and
but
little,
really, it's like
it kind of just stuck. I don't know, I liked it after, at first I was like, Huey,
baby Huey.
And then like,
Baby Huey,
I
yeah.
think we went out and we tried it for a day when we were out on a field game. It was like actually using radios and stuff. Kept hearing Huey over the radio, and I was like, no, I like this.
All right. It
Simple,
works.
easy, quick, done.
You gotta your call sign, you gotta kind of embrace it and stuff. It's
Organic.
I
Has to
mean-
happen.
Yeah.
Just look at this. This is the Squatch.
You guys
Yeah,
are
it's
getting the
flaking on me.
I got all of it. I got
Taking a
all of it.
lint
I got
roller
all
real
of
quick,
it.
just get it all off my leg real fast. Jeez.
Oh,
Those nicknames just have to kind of flow organically. You can't really, you can try to make your own, but it's not going to stick. They just have to happen.
have to censor that.
Yeah, I think that's,
I didn't show the nipple.
that's fine. We
Did he
got,
show
we get some of those old Girls Gone Wild things. We'll put the stars up,
Nah, that'll work.
We'll just superimpose the actual Sasquatch on
Oh, yeah, there you
over
go.
his chair for a
Yeah.
second.
that would be pretty good.
No
Watch it on the
difference.
hub.
Yeah,
I don't know. You'll see.
that
eventually.
theme song plays.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I can get you the file.
Jeez.
So we've been having some meetings lately. It's kind of getting the start of our season. So where would you guys like to go this year?
If we're shooting people and drinking beer, I'm okay with wherever. Does
What?
not matter.
That's like what the team's built around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As long as I get to hang out with you guys.
Probably somewhere just a little bit warmer than here. That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So
No
not
snow.
Texas right now.
Not Texas right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's been a couple places that kind of caught our eye and stuff, but everything's kind of weird right now with knowing where we're going to be at in a couple months. We're trying to plan a trip, so.
I want to hit California because I had been watching those matches down in California for years.
And that's Southern California, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Everyone from Corridor Digital to Air or Evic, their guys playing, Jet. I've been seeing that for so many years. Back when they originally first started, I was like, man, I would always love to go there, and I never really had a reason to, because going solo, it's not, you don't get the full experience. You want to be able to enjoy everything, and I didn't want to drive down there and just have a hotel by myself and just pack my stuff in.
Besides, you're not going to sweep aside the field like we can. And
Yeah.
just clear them
Yeah,
out.
I can't. I could try to solo clear, but I'm gonna miss one corner.
Well, even like just with the team on the trips down there, like that's more fun than anything.
Yeah, exactly. The trips
Just a
are.
car ride.
But now that I have a team, I think that I would 100% want to go down to California fields and get some good games and those popular ones, and kind of just see what they're about. And, show our stuff.
I definitely want to go there to Southern California again, too. I know we've talked about that. Where's our favorite place to play so far? What do you guys think?
It's called Swamp, 100%.
You like
Swamp.
the swamp, and that's in Oregon.
Mhm.
It's an outdoor field. I love the swamp.
Swamp is great.
It's wonderful.
Swamp is
Very
close play to
well
my
Is
heart.
that everybody's favorite?
Yep.
So far.
It's tied.
I mean, for outdoor. I mean,
Right,
right, for
for
outdoor,
outdoor.
indoor. But for outdoor, 100% Swamps. For
Okay.
Yeah, outdoor swamp, indoor. I'd have to say Oregon Airsoft Arena actually for me.
Oregon's holding down the market. We need to move out and.
I know.
Yeah, the swamp has a good layout, and they've got good refs and good games set up. They know what they're doing. They give us time to reload and get back out there.
Shout out to Shrek who runs that field.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Shrek's
Run
awesome.
left field.
Hey, Shrek.
He keeps the briefings to the point. He doesn't take forever to do it. He gets people going. He knows what we want to do. We want to get out there and play, and he keeps it going on that track where we're not having to go off on a tangent or worry about some weird situation that might have happened that ends up being in the rules. So he'll keep it exactly where it needs to be. He keeps the games coordinated with all his refs. They have all radios. They do ref checks as they need to, and those are all things you want to see out of an outdoor field. You want to see that coordination between management and administration. That way you can have a smoothly run gaming, or a smooth run game, as opposed to just a backyard with a bunch of kids.
Yeah, there's a difference between someone who's more like amateur running a field and somebody who just been around the block, knows what they're doing, runs their wheel, like.
There's some good things to learn from Shrek.
For sure. And that's not saying that we don't like. I mean, if there is now a local field that has just popped up in Spokane, Washington, Legacy Airsoft, and it is one of those very tiny kind of.
I haven't been there yet.
I think I'm the only one
looking forward to trying it.
that's been there. It's really cool. He asked for advice. He's really awesome about contacting us when there's games and taking feedback and stuff. The guy that runs it is really cool. His name is Brandon. It's really fun. We were supposed to go there next weekend. I hope that happens. Weather is.
You'll see with the weather.
It's
we had
cold.
and
You play in the snow enough, you don't necessarily want to keep going out there.
Yeah,
We're not in actual war. We want to enjoy ourselves.
because guns break in the snow.
We were supposed to go to one of our local fields, Nighthawk, yesterday, pretty much, and we just decided we were going to go because it was too cold and snowy. So,
Do you remember that game in March when we started really getting back into? I first got introduced to the association that me and Fiend, Squatch, and most of us came from, because they did their opener game in a kind of a paintball field, and it was in the middle of March, so there was in the more heavily forested area. There's at least 3 or 4 feet of snow.
Yes.
makes running real hard.
Yeah.
Wishing that you had snowshoes.
I was making a flank with Huey and someone else to try to get around the enemy team. And it didn't look so bad initially, and then I realized, the ground is actually 4 feet below the snow level. Oh, neat. So we got in there, and we're up to our waist, trying to trudge the snow. It took us, I think, 15, 20 minutes to make what normally would have been only like a 2 or 3 minute flank. Because we're trying to be quiet to, not give away our position, but we're having to go through that much snow, and I tried crawling on top of it. I actually lost a mag in the snow somewhere. I'm sure it's still out there.
It's one of those too, like a couple days after the snow, so it's not as fluff. It's real crunchy.
Yeah. You're not sneaking on nobody.
No, you weren't thinking about that.
No, they knew we were coming miles away, but that was where we kind of started really getting back into the heavy stuff with teams, because for a little while we kind of stuck with just private groups or small
groups.
Backyard
like
games.
small backyard
like
games.
at Nighthawk.
Yeah, small, like going out to a couple Nighthawk public games or whatnot. But then we went back to that March game and dealt with the snow. We actually got back into it, met some more people, strut our stuff, as you like to say.
You do that? You do that?
No.
No.
Nessie's spirit animals generally are probably the grayest rock you could expect or think of. And then as soon as he gets out in his airsoft gear and stuff, he's the brightest peacock you've ever seen. his stride changes, even the way he walks. He's just got that little like
The little strut. Yeah, you gotta show your stuff.
There's
It's
something about
definitely-
being in full tactical gear
Yeah.
that just it makes you feel
professional.
better.
It's a confidence booster. You get out there and you want to socialize. You want to meet some people. You're gonna go out there and shoot them. You may as well be friendly with them, right? Because they're probably gonna shoot back, and you don't want to get pissed at you. But I like going out there and talking to the people, and seeing the newer individuals that go out in the field, and the ones that are kind of curious about what's going on. And if I have an extra gun that they if they don't want to use a rental, I've done that before. We used to, when Hugh and I would go to Nighthawk games, even though there'd only be the 2 of us going, we'd bring 10, 12 guns
at least.
at least.
The back of that pickup truck.
Yeah, I took my pickup truck. In the back of my pickup truck, I got every gun laid out on its blankets, and we literally just grabbed.
It's kind of like the
different
sketchy drug dealer of airsoft. There'd be a couple kids like, I don't really like these rentals or something like that.
Hey kid, you want to come over and see an airsoft gun?
Somebody whose gun broke, and he'd be like, hey, John, come check out the trunk. And you drop the trunk, their eyes would light up, and they'd be like, why do you have so many guns?
To be like golden light.
Don't
on the
ask
back.
questions.
He used to take us, if we didn't prep the night before, the day of, that morning, it'd take us 2.5 hours or 3 hours to get everything.
Yeah, because I have batteries for all those mags and make sure they're loaded. Make sure it's the proper battery.
stuff.
They're hooked up. They're all charged.
Honestly, I like that ritual. Like the night before, the morning of, it's just like going through and I'll organize my stuff. I know I'm going to tear it apart, and then it's never going to go back in my car the same. I just chuck everything.
Oh yeah,
in the
once
back
you're
of the
done
car.
with the day, you just put everything where it's just
After
in
we're
there.
done, it's like my guns are still loaded, the batteries in them, most of them have mags in them. They just in the back of my car. I'm going home, I'm tired.
Well, I mean, even back then we didn't even have any gun cases for nothing really. So it was just
Yeah,
like
we were
this
still
layer
just
of
scrubs.
blankets, and like all the guns are like on top of each other, but you have a little blanket in between.
So you weren't getting the metal scratching, but
all
we
you
go
need.
and I remember there was one time where this father next to us with his 2 kids, and they had just had their rentals die, and they were kind of like disappointed about it. Kind of telling, "Hey guys, why don't you come over here and check this out? Which guns do you guys want to use?" This was a mistake, by the way.
We'll get into that.
Yeah. So I start undoing the blanket as we're going, one gun at a time. I'm like, "Ooh, what's this one?" I'm like, "Oh, just shooting at this." I knew most of the specs for most of my guns because I, amassed it over the years. I'd all used them at least once, except for there's a ACR I never used. You get so many guns, you don't have I only have 2 hands. Well, I don't want to pack around the 14-pound M14 all the time. Anyway,
Come on.
I have an EBR that's in the shop right now, but so I lended it out to them. And they came running back because one of the batteries died, so I got that switched out. And they ended up, I think, wrecking the bevel gear on one of the gearboxes. I don't remember which gun it was, but
Aw.
yeah, it came back saying, "This is not shooting while I ran it." I'm like, that's not good. That's a gear.
It's got that.
Yeah, you
When you
just
shoot
hear the
it,
motor
oh.
just ripping something apart. So, but it made their day. So that's kind of what you're looking for. You want to get the new people into the sport and keep them in there. You don't want to discourage them. So you got to
Right.
support the new generation.
Yes, because the more airsofters, the more targets I have to shoot at.
Like Spear.
And I'm a giant fan of target-rich environments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty much a
Team kill.
team across the board. Like, the more people that we can, except for squats, your team kills.
Yes.
The more people that we can
It's
get
hard
to
to
shoot.
tell sometimes.
There have been some.
Come around a quarter,
Speaking
you
of team,
just pull up and you go for it.
speaking of team kills, we went to Tacoma and had an indoor field where it was just us. It was we 6 or 7 of us at that point. I believe it was 7, right?
I don't think I was there at this.
So it might have been 6.
Yeah, I think it was 6.
Might have been 6. So we were doing a 3-on-3, and they put a Huey 9 on opposite sides. Well, our loadouts are very similar. The only difference is our headgear, because I run a full-on tack helmet and face mask. He has the nice dye mask. But we both wear a chest rig over this with just multi-cam camo pants.
It happens when you're a +1. We both have multi-cam chest rigs. We both have multi-cam pants. We rock the shirt because we both are on the team. And, I mean, despite our builds, in the moment, looks pretty similar.
Yeah. So there were a few instances where he got team killed because they thought it was me, or vice versa, or I got team killed because my team was like, "Oh, it's Huey," and just drilled me in the side where my love handles, and then just nurse that little wound for a couple days.
And shutting the love handles is wonderful. So,
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
Best.
so Huey, what's your favorite moment in airsoft that you've had so far?
Actually, I think mine would probably be like the most embarrassing for me.
Is that the awesome and embarrassing? Is that the same
Yeah,
thing?
well, I mean, it was like one of those times where it was like when you have that real of a reaction to something and you're having that much fun. Like it was the first time I ever went out with Nessie, and I remember I bought a gun because we've been talking about it at work, and he's like, "I'm gonna do this thing," and I was like, "Oh, cool, man!" And I went on, I got a G&G M4, one of those old faithfuls. I still have it, but I haven't used it in a couple of years. But I remember I bought it. It was like $120. I was so excited. And we host this game, and it's pretty much us, 10 or 12 people. This is back when his arsenal was still somewhat up and running. This is what I think we lost like 5 or 6 guns that day. But we go out, and it's like a bunch of our coworkers, and we're having a good time. And I remember, of course, it's on Nessie's property, his guns, everything. He's calling the games, he's doing all that fun stuff. So he knows how much time's left in the round. The rest of us are just waiting for the whistle and whatnot. And he completely runs out of ammo, and all he has is his pistol. And he's rocking his little 1911.
I had a little
And I'm
WE 1911 just standard.
And I'm green. I'm brand new. Like, this is my first time even really playing other than springers and like a couple of paintball games with my brother when I was younger. So I'm up against this table. He has like nailed up against it. And I don't think anybody sees me. I'm on like one knee. And the next thing I know, I'm looking this way to my right. And out of the corner of my eye, I see somebody just sprinting at me. And like, this is before I even had camo. I was wearing like a sweatshirt and like jeans, like brand new. And I see this guy completely decked out in multicam with a skull face mask trying to be Ghost from Call of Duty or something. Definitely didn't go buy that mask that night. Full multicam, helmet and everything, and he's just sprinting at me with his pistol, and he's shooting at me. He didn't even hit me. But I had my gun, and I remember instead of even like turning and shooting at him, my reaction was to take the gun and cower behind it like this. And then they'll hold it up sideways. They go,
That's so adorable.
I checked my phone. I'm like, oh, I only got 30 seconds left. I'm out of mags on my M4. Okay. Drew the pistol, saw him. I just made a dead sprint. I'm not really good at sprinting and shooting with one hand, but it made an impression.
Looks pretty deadly from my side of view. Especially for someone who's brand new, and there's this guy who looks like he's the guy. You know, when everyone first started, you look around, you're like...
It's the aviators that sell it. When he's walking around the camp and he's got those glasses down.
They used to be so cool, now I just look at him and I'm disappointed. But back then...
I cried.
Back then, like, you show up and you're brand new, you know what I mean? You don't even know what's going on. You look around and you're looking, who's got the coolest gear, you know what I mean? You see that guy's gun, you're like, oh, that guy's got to be the best because he's got the cool stuff. Well, that's Nessie. He was always that guy. And, yeah, that's probably my favorite memory, just because I remember having, like, just so much fun that day, and I remember, like, I was telling the stories and stuff after work, and, I think that was when I kind of decided, I was like, I want to do this. Like, this is fun. So I started bugging Nessie. Probably... I mean, maybe he liked me a little bit, but I think I bugged him quite a bit about, hey man, where do you go? Like, where do you guys do this stuff at? And
you were that guy.
I went and bought the exact same camo as him, and
I was the gateway drug.
pretty much.
Got him started. Well, I'm glad he's here now.
Yes.
So is that your favorite moment as well?
No. I have been doing this for 13, 14 years, so I have quite a few moments. I have to say, probably my favorite moment is also my most embarrassing.
Oh man, you guys are hitting it strong.
I was at Nighthawk, and there was a tower that we had to take, and it was about 200 people in the field this day, so it was about 100 per 100, and we had about 40% of our team push this tower. Well, there's still only 2 people up there, and they were holding the stairwell. Well, we were trying to get them out because, we can't take the tower if we still have enemies up there. They were just holding the stairwell well enough that we couldn't really push it because it was a left-hand angle. Most of our guys were righties. We only had a couple lefties, like Huey. So what we do is we start throwing grenades. 2 or 3 grenades went up there, and they went off and nothing. These guys, either they didn't go around the grenades, didn't go around the corner and go off, or I don't know. Maybe they didn't hear it. Who knows? Well, I'm like, okay, I have a grenade. I had a tornado timer grenade, so the ones that take about 3-4 seconds to go off.
It's the ugliest orange grenade you've ever seen.
I wanted to find it if I lost it. That was my goal. This is bright orange. I'm like, I'm probably going to lose this thing, so I want to make sure it's as brightly colored as I can. I had just used it in a previous engagement, so I pull it to the backside of this tower, and I have Huey kind of grab my propane tank out, because I used propane at this point before using green gas, because I was just like, I don't even need to bother green gas. I use green gas now. So I load up the grenade, get it set, and I walk around the tower, and there's at least 20 people, would you say, around the base of the tower at this point?
Probably closer to 40.
I was part in that group.
Yeah, there was a lot of people, a lot of teammates underneath that tower, and there's one window sitting up there about yay big that you can lob a grenade through. So I pull the pin, and I go, nade! I throw the grenade, but I let go a little too soon, so it hits the top of the window frame and bounces back down.
And I was running.
I saw it hit, and time froze for me for a moment. I was like, oh, this is happening. It comes back to me as it bounces off. I go, shit. And I got this on video. Every single one of my teammates around there just goes, oh shit, or screams and just scatters.
Bye.
I was lucky enough that it bounced right back to me. I caught it and I flung it back up there before it went off. But I looked around and I looked at the camera footage, and the 40 or so people around, I only had like 10 left. They all go on the backside of the tower because they just all scattered.
I don't know how that many people disappeared that quickly, but they definitely got
dodge. That was probably one of my favorite moments. I will always treasure that to this day.
We gotta get that video on our channel somewhere.
If you're lucky, you'll see it eventually.
Yeah. What about Squatch?
Squatch, I went to this other field around here. It's called Pegasus, and they did a whole Fallout theme game. So you had to come up with your own character almost. So I was out there pretty much by myself. I was out there just causing mayhem. Every time everyone saw me, they were like, "It's the guy with the American flag." Oh no! Everyone just kind of run. Yeah.
Stabbing people?
Yes, I had my knife out. I got pretty famous with the knife. So
plastic knife.
Plastic knife. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plastic. I just sneak around. I'd pop out. I would hit people, then sneak away, then pop out. They were like, "Hey, this guy with the American flag." This is one of my good times.
You'd be surprised how sneaky the beard can be.
Yeah. It just blends right in.
Natural cover.
Yeah, because when he's running through the brush enough, he gets all those twigs and leaves in it, and just helps enhance
He just starts building a ghillie suit all the way down.
Yeah, he's got enough hair on him. He can just run through the woods
too.
Yeah.
When they're out
Natural.
drinking and eating.
Yeah, he can
Saves the
just run through the woods for like 20 minutes and have a natural ghillie suit stuck to his hair. So it works really well breaking up his profile and makes it a little harder to see him sometimes.
I think one thing we kind of glossed over because I was a little excited to start telling stories and everything is we didn't go over what we're drinking.
I mean, we can. Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to.
Let's do it.
I'm the Blue Moon guy.
You're the Blue Moon guy?
I'm the Blue Moon guy.
You're the Blue Moon guy.
I'm
These
the
guys are
basic
drinking
bitch, man.
soda.
Okay.
I gotta drive later, so.
I don't
For a
drink.
crazy
I'm the
night.
designated driver in the group.
Yeah, I know we
So,
mentioned.
That's
probably
why
mentioned.
I made Nessie my +1 because I have a permanent DD.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a permanent DD.
Squatchy only likes to drink when he's going out on the town.
Fair. I have North Coast Brewing Old Rasputin, which is super delicious. So there might be a few more of these. in
And
the
I'm
near
just
future.
doing the do.
I gotta be careful
Spear would be
because if
proud.
I go a little too hard on Pepsi, I might get a little tipsy. They're I was going up camping with a bunch of friends up in the woods, and we were doing a game of Hold Your Beer where we threw everyone in the back of this guy's pickup truck, and we'd go mudding, and we had to just keep our beer, or in their case, keep their beer, and not spill it or not have any issue, otherwise they'd lose. I was using Pepsi because that's the only other thing they had. And I apparently downed way too much that the carbonation was an issue between the bouncing and everything, so I was actually the first one to vomit with soda.
That's not something you admit normally.
So the joke ran from there that Pepsi is now my alcohol. Pause there real quick, cut that out.
The joke
Anyways,
commercial.
Yeah, quick commercial, guys. Who's sponsoring us right now? Yeah, so
Nobody.
Pepsi is my alcohol, and if I'm going light, I'll probably dabble in a little bit of Sprite, but I gotta be a little cautious.
If he wasn't our DD, I'd make so much more fun of him.
Yeah, honestly. I'm getting you home safe, if that's what matters.
That's
Be responsible
awesome.
when you drink, kiddos.
Yes. Don't
Don't
know
do
your
it.
limits.
Don't
You
do what
gotta get
Squatchy
that.
does
The more
sometimes.
you know.
Yes, exactly that.
There was one time we did a sort of a game where everyone is a free for all, but if you killed someone, they joined on your team.
Yeah.
We did it on this it was this really brushy hillside, and I forget who else here for that game. I know Huey was because he's part of the story.
Is that at your place?
No, this was out in the woods to the east, out in the mountains somewhat.
What
So
do they call that game type? Blob most of the time.
Yeah, it might be Blob. I forget what it
Vampire
was.
Blob.
Okay,
There's
that's
a
Donkey
few
or
names.
something.
So
like
I
that.
don't remember, but we all started, and they put me in a really advantageous position where I was on top of this hill, overlooking a small little clearing where like 3 people were spawning, and they just put me there. So I'm like, okay, this is where I start. And at this point,
I was one of those people spawning.
yes.
Oh.
And at this point, I wasn't running my Polar Star because I run out of air, I think. So I was running this APS Silver Edge M4 that had water transfer multicam. So I was full multicam, including my top. I wasn't part of Strykers at that point. And so I'm just sitting up there, no one sees me. And they blow the whistle, and I immediately just turn down, and I gun 2 of them down. They just sit down, you have to run over and tag them. And poor Huey, I don't think he heard that gunshot.
I was in a gunfight with like 2 other people.
Yeah, so I come
Downhill.
down, and I may be 20 meters from him, and I just put 3 rounds right in
I
his love
learned
handle.
nothing from Anakin. He had the high ground. It was over.
Yeah, and
You gotta learn from Anakin.
my team actually won that one though. That was fun. But that was all because I got the good players right off the bat.
Hey, sometimes you win, sometimes you
Yeah,
lose.
you take what you can get.
Yeah, I like it. I think my favorite moment is just when we were at the swamp last time, and we were at that objective game where we had that bomb that was neutral, and we had to take it to those places.
Yeah.
And we had the bomb at the start, which was wonderful, and then we lost the bomb due to some bad tactics from other members of our team. Not our team. And then they got the bomb, and we didn't know where they were supposed to take it. So
pretty much like
we just started looking for
everyone
it.
had a secret objective. There was one bomb in the middle of the map, but they had a secret objective they had to take it to that we didn't know what objective they were trying to take the bomb to, and they had a timer and it would blow up eventually. And we had to take it to an objective that they didn't know where it was at, and it would blow up. So
Yeah, and
as
so
soon as they got the bomb, we had no idea.
we had no
where
idea where it was.
We just knew it was on our side of the field somewhere.
Right. And so we were looking for it. So I think it was me, Huey, and Fiend that we came up on this bunker, and I was the first one over the edge, and there's a dude laying on his back with the case and a pistol out.
If you're ever going to hear a story, by the way, that's going to be per usual. He's going to be the first one in. 99% of
Almost
the
every
time.
time. Yeah. Needless to say, he got me. I got shot. I was not ready for him to just be like, "What's up, bro?"
Draw.
Yeah. And I got killed, and I walked back to spawn, and then Fiend got killed, and then on our way back, I watched Huey kill that guy, and then walk out of the bunker with the case. And I see like 10 dudes behind me that are on our team, so I'm like, everybody sweep the field, and we just cleared from one side of the field to the other to try to take the bomb to where it was going, and that sweep was so much fun.
Plus, I'm not the fastest guy. I mean, I've never been known for my 40 or anything. But I think that was the fastest I've ever run.
I was trying to motivate you.
I think I had bruises on my butt from my heels hitting myself in the butt while I was running. Trying to keep my rifle up and the case at the same time.
That was a good day. There was a game mode where they had yellow barrels all out in the field that we had to grab and put to a cache, which the caches were like right across from each other, maybe like 30 meters at most. So we had to get ours to our cache, and they had to get any of the flags or barrels to their cache. We had already saw them as we walked through because they gave us a little walkthrough prior, and so we had kind of coordinated in the spawn area where me and like 3 others made dead sprints for these barrels. And watch this get a little hard on Mountain Dew, bro. You gotta be careful. Like caffeine might get you.
Yeah, it does.
No. And I remember I got there, I grabbed one and dragged it into the cache, and I started building because the cache had a lot of gaps through it, so a lot of spots you can get shot. So I started putting these barrels in the way of these holes so I wouldn't get drilled from someone across the field. And I remember the third barrel I went for, it was maybe 10 feet in front of me. It was just close enough where I wanted to get it, but I couldn't because I was behind a 55-gallon barrel.
But you can fit behind one.
I can fit behind one pretty well. I just tuck up. Anyway. And I'm like, they're just shooting so much cover fire at my position that I'm like, I can't get this thing. And I remember a teammate saying, "Hey, you trying to get that barrel?" And I look back, and there's 3 of them up against this tree, not really seeing where they're shooting from. I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay, we'll get your cover." And they all pop smoke simultaneously. I'm just like, "Oh, this is gonna be cool." They all 3 flung us smokes, and I had a pure smoke cover. I could just run and grab it and drag it back in. That was my third one. I put it up in the wall, and then I remember just sitting there for a little bit, just watching. And then Fiend, I don't know how he did this, but he ran behind the main enemy line, grabbed one of their barrels, and ran back. This was like a easily 200-300 meter sprint.
In the wide open.
In the wide open. Like, there was not enough cover. I don't know how he got away with this.
Magic.
Fiend magic. We don't ask questions. And so I remember looking to my right where my team's line is, and I just see Fiend dragging this 55-gallon drum, full sprint coming at me.
Dragon.
And I had moved one of the other barrels kind of the way because I was taking some shots to the right. So as he's coming in, I move the barrel out, and he just falls/slides into the building where the cache is.
You're supposed to prep him up a little bit. He did a sick barrel roll straight into cover.
Well, there was some rolling of the barrels, but it was not him. And he ended up doing that, so I put it up on the barrel wall, and I immediately look at him, and I'm like, "Okay, look, there's another one over there, let's go get it." And he just is like, "No." He just says, "No, give me a minute, dude." I'm like, "Where'd you run from?" He's like, "Their side." And I'm like, "You're way over there?" And he just nods. Okay, I'll just keep holding this position for now. I don't know how he pulled that off. He by all rights, should have been dead.
It was pretty good.
It was a good dead sprint, that's for sure.
So where do you guys want to go next? I know that we talked about Southern California.
I'm kind of a fan of California.
Yeah.
California?
That's
I
a much.
still want to check out that mill place.
Oh yes, the mill, which is in Washington, I believe.
I think so.
Maybe we'll hit there. Southern California takes a little more planning.
Yeah, it's going to do some
resources.
A little bit longer trip.
Might hurt the wallet a little bit.
A little bit. So I guess our first trip generally in March.
Generally March, April.
Normally, yeah.
April.
That's when normal season in a normal year would be.
So we'll figure out where we're going. We'll definitely post that when we do. If anybody wants us to go anywhere,
please hit us up.
I'll come
Spam our
shoot you.
Facebook.
I'd love to come
We
shoot
will
you.
come shoot you.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Maybe we can have a beer afterwards.
Yeah.
Or a few.
Or 7.
Let's say there's not one beer with Strykers. It's how many cases?
And that's coming from our DD.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Wow.
I mean, Squatch is down and the Jack Honey.
I'm just saying, I've been around the block with you guys enough to know how much beer you guys go through.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what we're about.
All right. So does anybody else have anything else to talk about?
I think I am good.
I think when it comes to a team, I know we've gone to a couple places and there's been people who kind of like, well, how'd you guys do this and how did this happen? And I think I'm a pretty firm believer, like I was kind of saying earlier, it just kind of happens organically. But if you can find the right guys, like we're gonna be going on trips with these guys for more than a couple hours. You may in a
Way more
car
than a couple
or
hours.
anything
Yeah.
with somebody from like just the trip down could be like 8 hours, 16-hour round trip and stuff. Just these got to be guys you can get along with in a car for 16 hours and.
Or play Smash Bros with for
Yeah.
hours.
It's weird hearing the conversations when you're in the driver's seat. You're not paying attention to everything happening, and you just hear, "I'm gonna smash you so hard" in the back seat.
Yes.
And you're like, "I want to turn around, but I'm driving, so I'm not gonna look."
We're playing Smash Bros, man. Leave us alone.
I'm just saying, some of the things I've heard in that car have been rather eyebrow raising.
Maybe.
Essentially, what it comes down to is you just find a group of guys that you can actually enjoy being around. And
Like
think
every
about it
week.
this way: if I wanted to hang out with this guy, or we want to go do something, go on a trip, like, can you be in a car or something with somebody for 16 hours? Like, would
Yeah,
you be
you
okay
have to
with
be
that?
able to make that. You be able to have that issue.
I think
not
that's
that
pretty
issue.
key.
And
I
wake
mean,
up like kind of hungover the next
Yeah.
morning, and I want to kill the first person that speaks to you.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
These things can't be forced. It just has to.
Because most of the time we end up just going drinking again, anyways, in the morning.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
either
Although
way.
I usually stick with juice in the morning. I gotta deal with the hangover a little bit.
Yeah, all that caffeine.
Yeah, that Pepsi hangover just kills me every time.
All right. I like it. Anybody else got anything?
Yeah. Nope. I'm
No.
good.
Sweet. So I think last time when we ended, we did the cheers.
Oh, I gotta make another drink. All right.
Well, kind of, yeah.
All right.
I've got to
I'm
finish
down.
the last of this beer here.
That's fair. Do I chug this? All right. Let's do it.
Right. All right. This is drinking the Strykers.
Cheers.
Remember to
Hey.
call your hits, guys. Cheers.
Yep.
Cheers.
Oh. I'm being outdone. I like it.